Just think about that soft warm bun, crispy cold lettuce, 2 juicy beef patties, and that special sauce, and most importantly, the cheese that binds it all up. Yes, I'm talking about the Big Mac. We all know how tempting it is to take a visit to McDonald's or any other fast food places, but do we really know what we're doing to our bodies by consuming these things? Today I'd like to show you why you should stop eating fast food for good. Health is a huge deal in America today. Everywhere you turn, you see diet pills, gyms, commercials of easy dieting, and so on. Americans are fighting for their health each day. People spend tons of money on gym passes, diet plans, and pills to shed their weight. There are 3 reasons why you should stop consuming fast food for good. First is that real food is actually less expensive than fast food. Second, fast food restaurants are always based on quantity over quality. And lastly, all of these things ultimately leads to detrimental health problems. According to the Centers for Disease Control Prevention website, it is not surprising that obesity is second leading death after smoking, which is 400,000 deaths per year. Even so, it seems that we all still eat fast food. At least 1/4 of Americans eat fast food every day. So why do we eat it? People claim that it is easy, filling, convenient, and inexpensive. According to the New York Times, in 2009, junk food is not cheaper than real food. Many Americans claim that Americans depend on fast food because of our low income. But that is not the case. For instance, for a family of 4, 2 Big Macs, a cheeseburger, 6 chicken nuggets, 2 medium fries, and 2 medium soda cost about $24. Versus when it's a home-cooked meal, a roasted chicken with vegetables along with a simple salad and milk costs around $15 at a supermarket. Hyper-processed food still remains more expensive than food cooked at home. Besides the cost, taking the harder and longer route to cook a home-cooked meal may not be easy, but it's a personal choice. If you can drive to McDonald's, you can surely take a visit to the supermarket. It may be a real challenge in the end, but that longer route can save your life. Secondly, the fast food industry has been helping our country to the fast lane to death. They use trans fats in their oils, which are by far the most dangerous for your health. But they are in most fast foods. The oils prepared to prepare fried foods such as chicken nuggets, French fries, and any other deep fried food are often made with partially hydrogenated oils, which are full of unhealthy trans fats. The American Heart Association claims that they use this because it is inexpensive and it helps the food taste good. But in the end, your health becomes jeopardized and eventually causing our cholesterol to rise. Jim McDowell, a professional dietitian, states, "When we eat too many solid fats, we put our bodies at risk. These fats tend to raise total blood cholesterol as well as part of cholesterol known as low-density lipoprotein. When those cholesterol levels are out of whack and too high, it's a risk factor for cardiovascular disease." Lastly, the third point I want to make is that eating these fast food foods consequently leads you to long-term health problems. It's beyond just weight gain and high blood pressure, but it also contributes to the fact that you can be risk of heart disease, strokes, and type 2 diabetes. It is ultimately not worth putting these things into your body because the consequences are life-threatening. For instance, in the documentary Super Size Me that I recently watched, filmmaker Morgan Spurlock offers himself as a guinea pig to conduct an experiment to prove this by having a strict McDonald's diet for 30 days. He had to sample each item on the menu at least once and consume the product every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. At the end of the documentary, Spurlock gains a total of 24.5 pounds during those 30 days. He was clearly out of shape, always out of energy, and not only did he get affected physically, but also emotionally. He had many ups and downs all the time. A cardiologist tells him that there's too much damage to his heart. Dr. Siegel states that even if he does lose all the weight and go back to his regular lifestyle, the damage may be irreversible, causing him to experience a heart attack later on. In conclusion, fast food is not convenient, and it has really bad quality, nor any good for our health. Fast food comes with all these horrible repercussions. Eating these quote-unquote yummy foods is ultimately not worth it when you can see the degree of which one's health is going to get ruined. It is important to raise awareness so that people can start living healthy lifestyles. I hope these examples will help you make the right decisions in your daily walk. Thank you.
Kathy, are you here? No, of course not. That would just be too easy. Well, I'll tell you what, we don't have people plugged in a couple of spots. Tyler, you're here, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of the speech?
I like it. It's a really interesting topic. I totally agree with it. I felt like she read from her cards a little bit too much, but I like how it was laid out, and there was some pretty good evidence in it.
Okay. I think you've got a pretty good visualization at the beginning. Your goal is very clearly stated. You've got a very nice setup of what the content is. And so all the organizational issues are pretty solid. I think you do rush the transitions on the first point, and that's problematic. And I do think that you need a little bit more of a summary at the end. But I did appreciate the exit line that you came up with toward the end of the speech. The subject is appropriate for the audience. I thought you did a pretty good job citing some material on the dangers that are going on here. I do think, I like the comparison, for instance, when you talked about the cost. I like the way that you visualized that pretty effectively. I think on the cost issue, you've got a good argument here. On the convenience issue, though, you basically assert that it's not convenient, and I think that you need a better argument on that, because you say, well, if you got time to go to McDonald's, you got time to go to the store. Yeah, but going to the store is not the only part of the process. Then you got to bring the stuff back from the store, prepare it, and serve it, and that's time-consuming also. My guess is a lot of people probably consume the foods not just because of the cost issue. In fact, I would think that that's probably the least likely explanation of it. It's rather the convenience issue. And you say, in the end of the day, it's people's choice. And I'm going, yeah, it is people's choice. Tell us why this is a lousy choice. Tell us why we need to ignore the convenience here and take the extra half hour or the extra 40 minutes that it's going to take to prepare a meal and say, you know what, you think you're saving yourself some time, and you probably are saving some time, but here's why that extra time is worth it, and here's how it's going to measure out in terms of years on your life or improvement in your lifestyle, and maybe tie in a little bit with some of the Morgan Spurlock documentary there that's going on there, and I think that would work a little bit better. You have okay eye contact while you're speaking with this. I still think you're reading way more than you ought to be. You do look up occasionally, and you do seem to be scanning the audience, but it just does feel like you are kind of engaged with the notes that you have. Part of that is also accentuated by the fact that when you are speaking, your pace and pronunciation are inconsistent. Sometimes you come across words and you say them, but I can tell that you're having to work at saying them, because it's not just you talking, it's you reading, and you're coming across that language, and it's not something that you've been practicing very much. Your voice projects pretty nicely, though, and I thought that was okay. Your gestures, though, are, of course, limited because you've got your both hands on your cards the whole time, and so I think that's a little bit problematic. All right, thank you.